it's Trina with Redneck Rhapsody. I'm so glad you joined me today. We're going to be working on a witch's brew. It's going to go in our little black cauldron over here that we're going to carry to a Halloween party. Possibly even have it mixed up out on the front porch and be partaking while we social distance from all of our trick-or-treaters this year. But before I get carried away, mixing and drinking and pouring and all that good stuff, I'm also working on some Jell-O shots for you too. But we'll come back and visit that on another day. So that leads me right into saying why you should subscribe to Redneck Rhapsody. Hop on over to the blog, make sure you print out your copy of the recipes. That way you keep them or pin them or wherever you stick them where you don't lose them. But we're gonna mix up a lot of good things over time, and we've already got a bunch from last year. So as the holiday season begins to roll in, I hope you find some of my 12 days of tipsy drinks something that you would enjoy, or even jump back to one of my very favorites is my Southern Redneck Eggnog. You do not want to miss that eggnog. It is like the best. So I just challenge you to check that out for your holiday season that's gonna roll in. But let's get to mixing. And like I said, subscribe below, hit the bell, and don't miss any of our tasty recipes that we're gonna have for you. Some of them are of an alcoholic nature, so I'll give you a precursor, so just skip those if that's not your thing. We're starting with 4 cups of pineapple juice for this drink. 4 cups of pineapple juice, y'all. And then I used a blue raspberry Jell-O because I just like the color it's gonna make for us. And I like the flavor, and I used 3 cups of hot water. So yeah, I made a mess. I know I got a big bowl, so maybe I wouldn't, but I did it anyway. Yep, if you've hung out with me before, you know I'm good at messes. We're gonna try to eliminate a little of this mess as I go. I'm pouring it all in a jug to where it is easy to store in the fridge, because one thing about this is it can be made up ahead of time. You don't have to do it on the day of whatever event you've got going. You could actually even stick it in the freezer with all the alcohol in it. I don't know that it would ever freeze completely, but it would at least be nice and cold when you got ready to go. But back to our recipe, it's 4 cups of pineapple juice, and basically that was 3 cups of water with a 3-ounce pack of Jell-O stirred in, and I did blue raspberry because I'm wanting the colors, y'all. I'm gonna do 2 cups of orange juice. Make sure I can see that good. So it's 2 cups of orange juice. Get a little bit of those daily vitamin C's and things that are good for you before we add all this unhealthy stuff up in here. So what we want to do is figure out how much alcohol we're going to want in this drink. So how much is 2 quarts? How many ounces is that, y'all? I'm having to think about what I'm doing over here. $88 ounces of liquid in here. This is about 16 ounces of vodka so far. So what we're gonna do is get that in there. 16, so it means I would need 44 ounces of alcohol if I was gonna do even. And I'm not gonna do that. I back it down off of that, but half of 44 would be 22 ounces. Well, I've already put 16 of this in. So I want it between 1/4 and 1/2, if that helps at all. And I know it may have been just enough to like really mess you up. So 16 and another 8 is 24 ounces. So that's putting us a little bit over the 4th mark compared to what all our juice was. And that was a cup of whipped vodka and 2 cups of regular vodka. Now, this is just to give it a little bit of kick of that extra something. I'm going to use this so I can read my ounces a little bit better because that doesn't break them down as well. And I'm only going to do 4 ounces of this because it is quite sour, but it does add a little bit of something to this. And with it being Halloween, let's just go ahead and do a little bit of something to it. And then Grinch, it's one of my favorite. It's a orange liqueur, so it just adds and romances the flavor of all that other good stuff. And I'm gonna do 4 ounces of Grinch. If it were me and only me consuming this, that might have a little bit more Grinch in it, just but with that being said, I'm not gonna shake it up and make a mess. I'm just gonna stir it. And if you want the written recipe, it will be on the blog. Because it was probably a hot mess, me trying to say all that and teach you what goes on in my brain and how I think to mix a drink. But that's how my brain works on mixing drinks. I am gonna show you what I did. There's my cauldron that I washed out really good. Picked it up at one of the little Dollar Trees. Dollar Tree has the best like stuff you can get for Halloween that doesn't cost you a lot. I made a batch ahead of time, so yes, I have me a little bit of witch's brew already brewed up and ready to go. So yeah, cheers y'all. It's good. And I froze it because that's one thing about when I'm making a recipe that has a lot of fruit juice in it. I don't love using ice cubes because it waters it down and that ruins a punch to me. So I'm not real good about, I want to mix it up ahead of time and freeze it in ice cubes in my tray in the freezer, or I'll get little plastic bowls and make up little chunks to put in there because it takes longer for those to melt. And I also love freezing fruit. I did not use any blue alcohol in this recipe, but I did, however, take blue alcohol and pour it over my pineapples that I froze. So rather than using ice cubes, stick this after you let them soak and get really cute and green to go with your witch's brew, because the pineapple chunks will turn green with the blue drink in them. And it is a blue kind of orange based liqueur. It's the blue Caraca. It will add a little bit of an orange flavoring, but it won't ruin the taste of your drink. And then you can eat your really nice drunken fruit when you finish your glass. That's another plus to doing that. So this little witch's brew was made just for you. I hope you have a happy Halloween and do some major fun haunting with it. But be careful, drink responsibly, and don't drink enough that you forget to social distance. Stop by anytime, pick up a recipe, share us, mix us, read it for me, however you want to do it. We love it when you share our recipes with others, especially when you make up a batch and share it with your buddies. Happy Halloween, y'all.